On a sunny morning in a small town, a wise local philosopher, renowned for his exceptional teaching methods, decided to pay a special visit to an elementary school. The master's arrival in the classroom piqued the children's curiosity, for he carried an air of mystery and a large empty container under his arm. The master placed the container on the table in front of everyone, his eyes gleaming with intrigue. With a playful twinkle in his eye, it became clear that this would not be an ordinary school day. He retrieved from under the table a set of substantial rocks, each the size of a fist, and began placing them into the container, one by one, with great care, until it was filled with rocks. Turning to the class, the master posed the question, "Is this container fully filled?" Confronted with the evidence that the rocks left no room for anything else, the children nodded in agreement and answered in unison, "Yes." However, to everyone's surprise, the master pulled out some pebbles from his bag and started pouring them into the container, gently shaking it. The pebbles, significantly smaller than the larger rocks, found their place in the gaps between the larger stones. The master, once again, directed the question to the class, "Now, is it fully filled?" Some students began to grasp the lesson the master wanted to convey and hesitated to answer, but the majority, after brief reflection, once again agreed, "Yes, it is now completely full." The master, however, had one final surprise in store. He pulled out a bag of sand and began pouring it into the container. The tiny grains of sand flowed easily to occupy all the remaining spaces between the rocks and pebbles. For the third time, the master asked, "Now, is the container fully filled?" The students, understanding the concept, responded, "Perhaps not." Finally, the instructor brought a full pitcher of water and poured it into the container, saturating the sand. Only then did he agree that the container was indeed complete. He turned his gaze to the class and shared, "It's crucial that you realize that this container symbolizes your lives. The rocks represent essential things like family, health, and friendships, elements that, even if everything else were to disappear, would sustain your full life. The small pebbles represent other significant elements like work, residence, and material possessions. The sand symbolizes the smaller, trivial details," he continued. "If you place the sand or pebbles before the rocks, you won't fit everything in. Similarly, by predominantly spending your time and energy on the smaller things, there will be little room for what truly matters. Just as putting the sand in the container before the rocks leaves no space for them, the same applies to life. By dedicating most of your time and energy to the smaller things, daily tasks, and minutiae, you won't find space for what is genuinely significant. The rocks are what give substance to your identity and happiness. They include sharing precious moments with loved ones, taking care of health, but also pursuing dreams and passions. If you don't prioritize them, you might, in the end, realize that you've neglected the most vital parts of your lives." He concluded with conviction, "Make sure to put the rocks first. They are the foundation, the essential pillars. They are family, health, and dreams. Don't let the pebbles or the sand, the secondary obligations, routine, and details, take a more prominent place. At the end of your journey, it's the rocks that will weigh the most in your life container, defining your worth and meaning. Let life be guided by the things that nourish the spirit, satisfy the soul, and hold the greatest significance. The rest is just pebbles and sand." After concluding his speech, an attentive student raised his hand and asked, "Professor, what about the water? How does it fit into our lives?" The teacher welcomed the insightful question with a smile and replied, "The water. Water represents the fact that, no matter how full your life may seem, there's always room for a friendly chat or a relaxed moment with a friend. Regardless of how busy we are, there's always space for small moments of joy, relaxation, and connection with others. In our journey, we often find ourselves balancing priorities, trying to accommodate all the demands within the limited hours of the day. Amid the hustle and everyday tasks, we sometimes lose sight of what's truly essential. This container, symbolizing our life, has limited space, it's not infinite. If we choose to fill it initially with sand and pebbles, that is, with mundane and peripheral details, we will leave no room for the rocks, the things of authentic value and significance. Therefore, I encourage all of you to prioritize your rocks first: family, health, passions, and dreams. These are the elements of your lives that, when everything else disappears, remain as the solid foundation of who you are. In this way, you will experience a sense of fullness and contentment. Pay special attention to these precious gems in your lives. Make time for those you love and care for them tenderly. Promote your physical and mental well-being. Pursue your passions without hesitation, and in the process, never forget to make room for learning, evolving, and practicing kindness. As for the beach, it represents the unexpected, the unpredictable. It's those moments of coffee with a friend, spontaneous laughter, instances of shared happiness. Even when life seems filled with commitments, there is always space for these small joys, there is always room to connect, relax, and just be. The rocks and the sand, they fit around the important things. They are the necessary tasks and obligations, but they should not consume all your time and energy. They should not take up the place reserved for your precious rocks. Ultimately, remember that it's not about having a life crammed to the brim, but about leading a full life, rich in experiences that truly matter to you. It's about not just counting the days but making the days count. It's about balancing the rocks, pebbles, sand, and water in a way that enriches your life and brings you genuine joy. This is the encouragement to take the leap.
Want to live with more wisdom and purpose? Discover the secrets of Buddhist monks in the ebook The Wealth Through the Eyes of Buddhist Monks. Click on the pinned comment and start your journey of transformation.